Welcome back to Living 808. A year and a half ago, the Maui wildfires devastated the town of Lahaina, and those affected are struggling to rebuild their lives. Hundreds of lawsuits were filed against HECO, landowners, the state, Maui County, and others. So what happens next? Well, that's what Coralie Chun Matayoshi is breaking down in her What's the Law podcast this week, and she joins us now with all the details. Aloha!
Hi, Kelly.
All right, this is, of course, a very big topic that people are so focused on because we want what's best for everyone in Lahaina. So what does happen next? What has happened and what are the steps forward?
So without admitting fault, all the defendants agreed with all the plaintiffs to a $4 billion settlement to dispose of all claims. Now, this was a major feat given that there were over 650 lawsuits affecting 17,000 victims. And as a former CEO of the American Red Cross, I know how important it is for disaster victims to regain a sense of normalcy as soon as possible. This global settlement would streamline compensation to the plaintiffs without having to go to trial and face possible appeals, and it would give certainty to the defendants regarding the extent of their financial exposure. But some sticky issues needed to be resolved before the settlement could be finalized, including whether the insurance companies were not part of the settlement, could go after those responsible for the fire, how settlement funds should be divided among the plaintiffs, and how attorney fees should be calculated and divided.
Right, and you mentioned insurance. So first let's talk about, what happens when you buy an insurance policy and then something bad happens. What then goes on? What are the next steps?
When bad things happen, like a hurricane blows your roof off, your insurance company covers the cost of the repair, and that's that. The insurance company eats the cost. But what if someone is at fault for causing the hole in the roof, like your neighbor sets off an illegal fireworks that lands on your roof? In that case, the insurance company can step into your shoes and go after your neighbor who was responsible for the damage to recover their payouts to you under a legal principle called subrogation.
Okay, interesting. And so in this case, I feel like, people were interested to see if the insurance companies would then maybe go after HECO or someone else, especially after finding out that those power lines were re-energized. Really interesting. Right. Okay, and then all of the plaintiffs and defendants reached a global settlement except for those insurance companies. So let's talk about what Maui Circuit Court Judge Peter Cahill did.
So last August, Judge Cahill entered into a written order barring the insurance companies from filing separate lawsuits against defendants responsible for starting the fire or allowing it to spread. In order to be sure, though, the judge asked the Hawaii Supreme Court to rule on whether the insurance companies had a subrogation rights against these wrongful defendants in the context of the proposed.
Okay, and then let's talk about the Supreme Court's decision. Why were the consequences of that decision so dire?
Well, if the court allowed the insurance companies to pursue subrogation claims against the parties responsible for the disaster, the global settlement agreement would have collapsed, because why would defendants settle with victims only to be sued again by the insurance companies, and HECO could go bankrupt? Now, if the court decided the other way and barred the insurance companies from going after the defendants like HECO separately to recoup the money that they paid out to policyholders, the global settlement agreement could be finalized, but the insurance premiums could soar or the insurance carriers could leave the market.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so then at this point, what's next? What can we expect?
So in an unusually swift and unanimous decision, the court held against the insurance companies, saying that they could not go after those responsible for the disaster. Instead, the only way the insurance companies could recover their payouts was to put a lien on their own policyholders for settlement payments over and above the damages they suffered. That's what the Supreme Court held.
Interesting. Okay, so what then does that mean for us locally then with what's next?
So Judge Cahill will now be able to finalize a settlement, including amounts already promised to families of deceased victims who accepted the One Ohana Fund, up to $1.5 million each, to forgo litigation. Apparently, the insurance companies can still accept part of the settlement if they agree not to go after their policyholders for duplicative payments.
Oh, interesting. All right. And we always, of course, learn so much on your podcast, Dan. This is going to be the theme of your very next one. What else do you have in the works after your Lahaina episode?
About laws unique to Hawaii, including did you know that there's an actual law called the Aloha Spirit Law? All that and more on KHON2.com. What's the law?
Always such great information. Thank you so much, Coralie, for coming on our show as well. And of course, you can catch her podcast online. We'll have a direct link to it, KHON2.com/what's the law. Thanks so much, Coralie.
Thanks, Kelly. See you later.
All right, so much more when Living 808 returns. Stay with us.